2026 to 2028, where we are expecting to generate 6.12 billion for 2020, where 6.12 billion was generated for 2025, and then we're expecting to generate almost the same amount for 2026.
The Senate committee commended the Commission for renewed professionalism and prompt response to road safety matters despite funding challenges, but reiterated the need for continuous training of officers in active service.
I want to, outside the purely arithmetical presentation here, like my colleagues here have said, your core mandate is very, very vital. If I get to some places, I find vehicles broken down, particularly on the road, for this, and I feel a little worried.
Now, I appeal that you continue to train them. There's the need for continuous training, not continually, continuous, because they come out every day.
In a later development, the acting national coordinator of Savicom, Helen Lowell, lamented that the agency lacks sufficient statutory powers to enforce efficiency and accountability across government institutions. While presenting the agency's 2026 proposal of 965 million naira, she appealed to the National Assembly to pass legislation strengthening Savicom's mandate to demand compliance from ministries, departments, and agencies.
A lot of things we can't do now to the optimum because our bill has not been passed. We can only back, we can't bite, sir. So we appeal to this committee if they can assist us to ensure that that bill is passed.
The Senate also called for improved funding for the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies. Alongside Savicom's operations, the committee encouraged both agencies to sustain reforms and assured them of improved budgetary consideration to enhance institutional performance. Anieti Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
The Southeast Development Commission, SEDC, says its initiatives are strengthening unity and development as well as confidence across the region as it defends its proposed 140 billion naira budget for the 2026 fiscal year before the Senate. Presenting the proposal to the Senate committee, the managing director of the commission, Mark Okoye, said increased stakeholder engagement has encouraged what he described as a shift towards development-focused cooperation in the region. Again, Anieti Patrick has more.
Okoye noted that recent consultations reflected broader participation across different groups, adding that the Commission remains committed to inclusive growth and economic revitalization in the region. He explained that the 140 billion naira proposal aligns with the 2026 budget circular from the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, stressing that the figure reflects the Commission's initial takeoff allocation following limited releases in the previous fiscal year.
There were about 14 known IPOB members in the hall who, prior to that event, what they were saying was no retreat, no surrender. Biafra land, we only want this. The same people have done posts after attending that event for 4 days. And the response is, this is the first time I had the opportunity to contribute my own ideas to the development of Southeast Nigeria.
However, members of the Senate committee raised concerns over allocations to consultancy services, workshops, and security-related expenditures, urging the Commission to prioritize infrastructure and other visible development projects.
You just got your money, and I'm surprised. I'm looking at the breakdown. I may not go into details, but all went into some project that you can't even feel. I'm not talking about renting your offices and furniture, that is basic. But not about conference engagement, stakeholder engagement, taking a whopping sum of 460 million. If we must succeed, you must handle this commission as your private company. Manage every fund, since you know it's a scarce resources, as your personal fund.
The committee chairman, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu, called for the Commission and stakeholders, noting that residents expect tangible results from the intervention agency.
You people should work together. You people should be as wise as my grandmother. Don't fight. Don't keep peace at all times. Be open to your fellow executive directors. Nobody here is giving you people pressure. The only pressure we are giving you, go and work for our people.
The SEDC is seeking legislative backing to ensure timely budget releases in 2026, aimed at enabling full implementation of its programs and regional development agenda. From the National Assembly, Aniette Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
Thank you so very much, Aniette. History was made yesterday in Abuja as Nigeria's police hierarchy formally changed hands with the 23rd Indigenous Acting Inspector General of Police assuming command to meet renewed calls for reform, professionalism, and improved internal security. Samuel Odi reports.
The colorful handover ceremony held at the force headquarters in Abuja marked the official transfer of authority from the outgoing Inspector General of Police to his successor, Olatunji Disu, who now becomes the 23rd indigenous IGP in the history of Nigerian police force. Senior police officers, government officials, security chiefs, and invited dignitaries witnessed the symbolic signing of handover documents and inspection of guard. With his inaugural remarks, IGP Disu pledged to build on existing reforms while strengthening intelligence-led policing, community engagement, and officers' welfare. He assured Nigerians of a renewed commitment to tackling insecurity across the country and restoring public confidence in the force. The new police boss emphasized professionalism, discipline, and collaboration with other security agencies as key pillar of his administration.
My tenure will therefore be built on three clear commitments: professionalism, modernism, accountability, integrity, community partnership, and trust. To all officers, I will demand the best from you, because the people who serve deserve nothing less. Integrity, compassion, courage. These are not optional qualities. They are the job. But I will make this promise in return. I will fight for your welfare, your dignity, and the conditions you need to serve effectively.
In his farewell address, the outgoing IGP Kayode Egbetokun expressed gratitude to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the opportunity to serve and thanked officers and men of the force for their support during his tenure. He noted that policing in Nigeria requires collective responsibility and urged continued loyalty to the institution and the nation.
Targeted operations during this period disrupted organized criminal kidnapping networks, curtailed violent criminal syndicates, improved coordinated response capacity, and restored operational confidence in previously underserved communities.
The ceremony concluded with a formal salute and the lowering and hoisting of the Inspector General's flag, symbolizing a seamless transition of leadership. The new Inspector General of Police now faces immediate tasks of consolidating reforms and confronting persisting security challenges across the country. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
Turn to other stories now. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to strengthening bilateral ties with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia through enhanced cooperation in media, communication, economy, and security. The minister made this known while receiving the ambassador of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to Nigeria, Yusuf bin Mohammed Al-Balawi, and his delegation at the headquarters of the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation in Abuja. Sadia Yakubu was there for Global Television.
Welcoming the ambassador, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, described the visit as a strategic move to deepen institutional collaboration between both nations. He stressed that Nigeria values its long-standing relationship with Saudi Arabia and remains committed to expanding cooperation among critical sectors. The minister disclosed that Nigeria has endorsed 3 key memorandum of understanding proposed by Saudi authorities to boost collaboration in media and communication. According to him, the agreements are expected to enhance professional exchanges, promote balanced information flow, and strengthen media diplomacy between the two countries.
The Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation is happy to announce that we have already put our signature to 3 MOUs that were proposed by the Saudi government.
Earlier, Ambassador Yusuf bin Mohammed Al-Balawi conveyed Saudi Arabia's readiness to strengthen collaboration with Nigeria in strategic sectors including the economy, security, media and political relations. He reaffirmed his country's commitment to supporting Nigerian pilgrims and revealed ongoing efforts to improve connectivity and cooperation for the benefit of citizens of both nations.
Also, I want to add something very important for the Muslim people here in Nigeria. We will continue to serve all Nigerian people who want to go Umrah and Hajj. I have a good news also, maybe inshallah the Saudi Airlines will restart the flight from Jeddah to Abuja.
Nigeria and Saudi Arabia said they would continue to build on their shared values and mutual interest, with renewed commitment expected to translate into tangible gains for both countries. From Abuja, Sadia Yakubu, Global Television News.
In another development, the Federal Government says effective communication is critical to the success of ongoing public service reforms, warning the lack of clarity can trigger resistance among citizens. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, stated this while receiving the Director General of the Bureau of Public Service Reforms, Dasuki Ibrahim Arabi, and his management team in Abuja. The chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Professor George Amukpito, has directed resident electoral commissioners nationwide to intensify voter education, enforce discipline among staff, and strengthen logistics ahead of the 2027 general election. Speaking at a strategic meeting with resident electoral commissioners in Abuja to x-ray the recently held elections in the FCT area councils and recent by-elections in Kano and Rivers States, Professor Amukpito said while the polls were largely peaceful and transparent, operational lapses must not be tolerated. Aniyetie Patrick has details.
The chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Professor Josh Amukpito, disclosed that over 93% of polling unit results in the FCT were uploaded to the INEC Results Viewing Portal (IREF) within 24 hours, with an average upload rate of 97%, reinforcing the Commission's transparency drive. He, however, expressed concern that only 45% of polling units opened by 8:30 a.m. on election day. Describing the delay as unacceptable, he announced sanctions for identified staff and the blacklisting of a transporter linked to logistical setbacks.
Citizens must be encouraged to verify their polling unit details well ahead of elections, including through Commission's online portal, online polling unit locator at https://cbr.inecnigeria.org/pu.
On voter turnout, the INEC chairman noted a modest improvement in participation in the FCT, rising from 9.4% in 2022 to about 15% in 2026, but insisted more work must be done to boost public engagement. Addressing claims on voter migration, Professor Amukpito clarified that no voter was moved in 2026. In a related development, the Forum of State Independent Electoral Commissions of Nigeria, led by its national chairman, Maman Nda-Eri, pledged closer institutional collaboration with INEC ahead of 2027.
We are keen to explore structured collaboration and partnership between INEC and CX through FOSECOM, particularly in the following areas. Number one, capacity building and technical support. We propose joint training programs, technical exchanges, and mentorship for CX officials in election planning, logistics, ICT system, results management.
The meeting also featured the swearing-in of Dr. Chukwuemeka Joseph as Resident Electoral Commissioner representing Abia State, with the INEC chairman charging him to uphold integrity and strengthen public trust in the electoral process. Aniyetie Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
Well, thank you, Onyeche. The Labour Party and the Nigeria Labour Congress signaled a major grassroots realignment ahead of the 2027 general elections as both parties unveiled plans to mobilize workers across the country as polling units agents to safeguard the party's votes. The decision was made at a one-day strategic stakeholder summit of the Labour Party held in Abuja. At the summit, party leaders and organized labor representatives resolved to deepen membership registration and validation using union structures as the backbone of the party's grassroots operations. Let's turn to Benue State now, where the government has formally launched a new people-centered public safety program, marking a major shift from conventional security approaches to a community-driven model. This is aimed at restoring trust, strengthening collaboration, and enhancing safety across the state. Over to Felicity Indere for details.
The historic event brought together government officials, security agencies, civil society organizations, and development partners as the initiative, backed by the Benue State government and supported by the Open Society Foundations, placed citizens at the heart of security decision-making.
Safety and security of our people.
Representing Governor Hyacinth Alia, the Deputy Governor Sam Ode described the initiative as a defining moment in Benue's journey towards peace and stability.
Today we choose to go together hand in hand with our partners, stakeholders and citizens to build a safer and more resilient Benue State. We have learned that true security is not imposed, it is built, sustained and owned by the people. Our initiative aligns with the Nigerian Police Act of 2020, affirming that effective public safety must be rooted in community participation, respect for human rights, and structured collaboration between citizens and security institutions.
A representative of the Open Society Foundation say the Benue model represents a broader shift in thinking about safety, distinguishing it from traditional security approaches that focused primarily on force.
Not all security models and policies need to come out of the global north, but that we really can start making propositions for what safety looks like, developed and tested and proven in the global south, and we're starting right here in Benue.
Officials say the program has expanded from Guma and Katinala to Agatu, boasting grassroots trust and information sharing.
When we put people at the center of it all, safety can be enhanced. And that is why we are very proud, sir, that Benue State is the first state, that is implementing community policing in the way as is envisaged by the Police Act.
They have migrated us from that mentality of blame game to taking responsibility. And so together, I see that this platform has been set to make sure that safety come back to our doorsteps.
Security leaders in the state, including the Commissioner of Police, pledged continued collaboration, describing the initiative as a practical step towards rebuilding confidence between communities and law enforcement. In Makurdi, Felicity Indere, reporting for Global Television News.
We appreciate you, Felicity. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has named a new secretary to the state government and a new chief of staff at the government house in Port Harcourt. According to a statement, the governor appointed Dagogo Wakoma as the new secretary to the state government and Sonny Ewule as his new chief of staff. The appointments were contained in a special government announcement signed by the chief press secretary to the governor and made available to journalists. You're watching the live broadcast of the Midday News. The rest of the news continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign, and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please don't go away.
Glad you could join us. Let's take a look at the weather outlook for Thursday. We're still seeing dust in suspension across much part of the country, but conditions are set to improve gradually, so visibility should get better as the day unfolds. Up north and across the north-central belt, expect moderate dust haze with partly cloudy skies and a generally hazy atmosphere across the inland cities of the south. It's one of those days where the sun may be out, but the air won't be perfectly clear. The coastal areas will start off with mostly cloudy conditions during the morning hours. But as we head into the afternoon, parts of Cross River and Akwa Ibom could see isolated thunderstorms. So keep an eye on the skies if you are in those areas. And that wraps up the forecast. Plan smart, move smart, and as always, stay weather aware. I am Akami Samarda, and thank you for watching.
And now to the rest of the news. President Bola Tinubu has approved a fresh one-year extension of the ban on the export of raw shea nuts. The renewed directive was disclosed in an official statement issued by the president's spokesman, Bayo Onanuga. Onanuga stated that the ban takes effect from February 26, 2026 to February 27, noting that the ban shows the federal government's determination to strengthen domestic value addition and reposition Nigeria's shea industry for higher export earnings through processed products. And now time to take you to the foreign scene. The United Nations Emergency Relief Coordinator, Tom Fletcher, says the impact of courts is adversely impacting relief efforts on a global scale. Fletcher said this while on a visit to hospitals in South Sudan as the country sees a surge of fighting in its eastern Jonglei state, where the UN estimates that at least 280,000 people have been displaced in the state since December of 2025. And now let's turn to sports for you. A team Edo State has maintained dominance in the ongoing second edition of the Niger Delta Games with 50 gold, 30 silver and 22 bronze. The team's medal haul came from all events, with athletes going beyond their limits to cement the team's place on the medal table. In swimming, Edo's athletes broke a 24-year medal drought, delivering a series of remarkable podium finishes. And that's all on the media news. Just to remind you that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. As always, we'd like to remind you can find us across all social media platforms using that Global TV NG, as well as other handles as you now see on your screen. On behalf of my team, who has made these news broadcasts possible, I'm Uyag Mofwebe saying a big thank you to you for watching. Coming up shortly is Wealth Creation.